I will tell you from start to finish what I've been told, what we've kind of agreed, because I used to be a moderator over at Shibnobi. But just before I carry on, can we confirm? Can you hear me properly, Rodney? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, and we're going to get started right now, but I can hear you fine. So just to reiterate some things for people before we get started, this is the Shift Token CEO. He's one of the tokens in the space. Recently, DojoSwap was hacked, and a lot of your tokens were just completely rugged, and it made you guys look bad, but it was no fault of your own. So just go ahead and tell us everything from start to finish.
Yeah, of course. I will most definitely do that. So to cut a long story short, let me just go on my calendar. So it was, hold on, April. It was the 29th of April 2022. I was sitting down with my family, and all of a sudden my phone started going mad, saying, "Oh, Shift has rugged, and what's going on? The chart's 77% down. You've pulled liquidity, this, that, and the other." Anyway, my liquidity was locked for a whole year, and I knew that that wasn't the case. The first port of call that I went to was the vested tokens. I thought maybe someone hacked my wallet and managed to sell off a huge amount. Checked the wallet, saw that the tokens were still there, and then I went on to Etherscan. Now, I am no blockchain genius. I went on there. I had a look at what was going on, and I saw that it was Shibnobi ETH that was selling down. So immediately I knew, I contacted my contract dev. I said, "Can you have a quick look at this? My chart's 77% down. Can you let me know what's going on?" And he come back to me straight away saying, "Well, it looks like DojoSwap has been hacked. It's either that they've been hacked or someone from DojoSwap is selling all your tokens to bring down your chart." So I got into contact with the necessary people from DojoSwap, and it turns out that their site had got hacked. Now, before we launched on DojoSwap and Uniswap simultaneously at the same time, my contract dev went on to DojoSwap and tried to do a transaction to see if he could buy a token that was listed on there, and noticed that there was a problem. So we informed Cliff. So there was a small problem with DojoSwap, which in the end got rectified after 3 or 4 hours. We was meant to launch between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. UK time, and we ended up launching about 3 to 4 hours later. But anyway, if I want to go into all the ins and outs, DojoSwap was hacked, and at that point, the community from Shift, the way they were, they started buying the dip. But there was a bunch of people that managed to get a whole bunch of tokens for a fraction of the price. And there were holders that were not happy with this, that people had bought better positions than them at a fraction of the price. So immediately I knew, I was almost 99% sure that I was going to have to do a V2 after what had happened. So anyway, if I want to fast forward a little bit, I told Cliff, and I've got the messages to prove that I told him not to buy back any of the tokens and that I wanted out of DojoSwap. It came to around Saturday, and it was my goddaughter's birthday, and I started seeing buys coming in after I told my community to stop buying. Now, in my contract for Shift Token, there was no button to press to disable trading, partly because that is where a lot of honeypots stem through, if they have that function in their contract. The way I had my contract written is that it would trade forever, unless at the end of the point where liquidity became unlocked, I pulled it. But we were only about a month old, so that was never going to happen so soon into the project's life. So people then started assuming, because of my relation to Shibnobi, that I was letting Cliff buy back in cheaper. So I got on the phone to Cliff and I said, "Cliff, I'm with family right now, my man. I told you I don't want nothing to do with DojoSwap. I just want the ETH back. I'm going to do a V2. Stop buying." So he said, all right, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I was like, no, tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to be with family, so I'll talk to you on Monday. So I got on the phone to him on Monday. He called me and we was talking about certain things. And to my absolute surprise, he was the one who actually kind of in a way accused me of being the perpetrator of the hack of DojoSwap, because Shift token was hacked apparently in a completely different way to the way all the other tokens were hacked during the hack. Anyway, I said he'd be going to the FBI, and I said, by all means, do whatever it is you need to do. I just want my ETH back and my tokens. I'm going to do a V2, and that was it. A couple of days later, I got my ETH back, spoke to him long and in depth on the phone, and we both agreed that we'd just leave it at that. But he kindly informed me that I had apparently failed my KYC. So I said to him, I go, well, what's the reasons for that? Why are you giving me this information? You're not Certic. Why haven't Certic told me about this? He goes, well, there's a few reasons. I can't go into much detail. And I said to him, okay, no problem. I'll email Certic and I'll find out what their exact reasons are why I failed my KYC. I've emailed Certic on numerous occasions to which I've had no response. And then about a day after that, I had a message from Cliff, and I will read you this word for word. He goes, just an FYI, Certic has now come back to me. Certic has now come back and passed your KYC that was previously failed. Looks like maybe you've provided them more information. Congrats. I said, hey, Cliff, hope you're well. That's very strange. I haven't had any contact with them whatsoever. Not sure what it is that's made them change their mind, but I'd love to know. I've emailed them following our conversation, and I've had no response. Anyway,
real quick,
for letting me know.
Real quick, Heavy. So first he told you and told everybody else that you failed your Certic KYC, and now
No,
he's
he
coming
just
back.
told me, but wait, Rodney, he told me first. He never publicized it. He told me, but he refused to tell me the reasons why I had failed my KYC.
And then he's coming back and saying that now it's good.
Yeah, he come back to me on, I believe it's May the 5th. I'm just looking at a screenshot at the moment. I'll have to confirm the date, but on May the 5th, he said, just an FYI, Certic has now come back and passed your KYC that was previously failed. Looks like maybe you've provided them with more information. Congrats. I've gone, I'm not going to read it word for word. I've said, that's very strange. I've not had no contact with Certic, so I don't know why they've changed their mind. But kind of, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. He said to me, no problem. Hope the relaunch goes well. A few hours later, to be exact, around just under 12 hours later, he goes, so I have to retract the passing of Certic KYC. They just informed me that someone mislabeled a report and that it's really another project that has been sent the pass. Unfortunately, that means Shift was still failed. Sorry for the confusion. Anyway, I went into it saying, well, that's not going to go down well, this, that, and the other. I was a bit upset at the time, and I left it at that. I never fudded Shinja. I still hold my Shinja bag, and I just left it at that. I've just been preparing for relaunch. About half an hour ago, before I messaged you, Rodney, I had a whole bunch of people from Shinja coming in saying, oh, you got booted off DojoSwap because you failed KYC, which is not the case. I've got proof that I've requested to be delisted from DojoSwap long before this came out. And I proceeded to call in Elsie. Now, I just want to put on record that Elsie, the Chief Marketing Officer for Shinja, is an amazing guy. And he is caught up in all of this, and I have nothing but respect for him. But he confirmed to me that the only reason that Shift Token had failed their KYC with Certic, and I had this conversation with him literally 10 or 15 minutes ago, Rodney, was because the person who wrote my contract didn't KYC. I didn't ask the person who wrote my contract to KYC because I am in full control of my contract. Therefore, he does not need to KYC. So this was going to be, if you want to put it, a happy divorce. Yeah, I was delisted from DojoSwap. I didn't publicize it, and nor did Shinja. But apparently, last night on the AMA, Cliff from Shibnobi decided to talk shit about my token, which we are yet to relaunch. So I'm here today to clear up the bullshit and spread light on what this gentleman, if you want to call him that, is really like. Yeah, he has accused me of hacking DojoSwap. Rodney, I have never claimed myself to be a developer. That's why I have labeled myself the CEO, because I believe I have the vision for this token. I just about know how to fucking turn my computer on, my man. Yeah? I have never claimed myself to be a developer in that aspect. But if he wants to go around talking shit, and my community has not done that about Shinja, but we have got moderators from within the Shinja community coming into the Shift chat saying, guess what? You guys got booted off DojoSwap because Shift Token failed their KYC. I'm not going to have it. I'm going to be here and I'm going to spread the dirt. Yeah? They wanted a happy divorce. I agreed to that. Yeah? Cliff gave me back 40 Ethereum. He gave me another 5 Ethereum on top of that, and he gave me just over 500 billion tokens. Yeah? 1.09 trillion tokens was stolen and sold on Uniswap from DojoSwap. He got away with it hella lightly, and I still took that L. Yeah? And I decided to carry on with the project because a big part of the application has been paid for. And really, when you're looking at it in hindsight, there is nothing wrong. I have been accused non-stop, and I will not take it anymore. I was in Shinja from day 4, yeah, and I looked after that community. I've never been a whale. I've always given back to people who got scammed by these airdrops, by scammers and stuff like that, and I've done nothing but support the community. I even went out to Dubai, yeah, and supported them guys out there, yeah, and they were a big help when I decided to launch my token, yeah, a big help. But they allowed me to list on DojoSwap without even passing my KYC, even though it says you need to pass KYC. And now they want to spread dirt on me like I've done something wrong when I haven't. I have kept my mouth shut, and this was meant to be a happy divorce. But after what I heard Cliff said on his AMA last night, I will shut my mouth no more. Yeah? I have a lot of respect for them guys over at Shinja. Yeah, but one of them that I do not have respect for is Cliff. I have done nothing wrong, Rodney. Nothing. And they want to continue to talk dirt on my name. So that's why I'm here today. And that's why I messaged you saying I don't want to wait. Let's get this open now so I can clear up all of this shit. And people know how deeply I was involved with the Shinja moderation team. And I'm not saying I knew everything or I knew everything that was going on in the background, but I backed them time after time, even when shit was being spread.
Yeah, so that's interesting that he's accusing you of hacking, or maybe your team of hacking DojoSwap, and because he said that because Shift Token was the only project affected when that DojoSwap got hacked. It wasn't the only project affected, so that's kind of weird.
No, so was MediToken, but not so much as us because we were actually one of DojoSwap's biggest customers. When I launched, I provided them with the same liquidity as I provided Uniswap and the same amount of tokens, and the arbitrage was very small. So just to confirm, there was just before the hack, over 1 trillion Shift tokens, and there was around 40 Ethereum in both swaps. And I believe that I was not, if not number 1, number 2, in terms of how much liquidity was in their swap.
That's crazy. And you know what? If there's any people from the Shibnobi community, I've asked some people out there who want to tell their side of the story or have any counter argument. I mean, you're welcome to talk here. because me and a heavy, we did plan to me and somebody coming up. We did plan to have this conversation next Tuesday, and I haven't seen any of the Shibnobi AMAs or anything like that. So we kind of want to get to the bottom of it and see what's going on. So if anybody's from on the Shibnobi official team who wants to give us some, the technical side of this, how can you prove that maybe heavyweight and the Shiv token are the ones that hack their own? You said they're accusing you in the whole FBI debacle, all that BS, the whole search at KYC not passing and whatnot. If you want to give the specifics on that, we can get to the bottom of it, and that's what this space is for. So, yeah. What's up, African Thanos? What's up, man? All right. So, all right, heavyweight. So, when you guys agreed to this, happy divorce and all that good stuff, why put out that information now, accusing you of all this stuff? I mean, were there any more conversations had after that initial that conversation about the happy divorce and how no one was going to talk about it? What exactly did Cliff say last night?
There wasn't, and when he told me, he goes, "I'm going to have to retract the passing of the circuit." I will get all the information up now. Bear with me 1 second, because I'm not one to hide anything, and unless Cliff has just gone onto our Telegram chat to delete all of this, then I'd be able to read it for you word for word. When he told me basically, sorry about the confusion, you haven't passed your certic KYC, blah, blah, blah. I said, ouch, this isn't going to go down well. I've been messed about a bit too much lately. I'll leave Shinja out of this for respect for Elsie. But in inverted commas, confusion is becoming a bit of an excuse now. And thinking that you question me whether or not I had something to do with the DojoSwap hack really has me riled up a little bit more. But I'd like to say, out of respect, I'll leave you guys out of this, but my project is locked due to this hack, and so am I. Thanks for letting me know. He goes, I'll always give it to you straight, good or bad, don't shoot the messenger in this case. And I go, of course, that's why I said I'll leave you guys out of this, fully respect the job you have. And he goes, thanks, heavyweight. So I forwarded a message on, literally, about 40 minutes ago, from a member within my community saying Shiv token failed certic KYC based on what was Cliff said in Shibnobi's AMA. So I forwarded that message and I said, so you're saying we got booted off of DojoSwap because we failed KYC? I go, you've opened a can of worms now, Cliff. Ridiculous. That's exactly what I've said to Cliff. Yeah, and then I've messaged you saying I don't want to wait any longer. I want to get a spaces open now. So the agreement was, that we would make this a happy divorce. He would send me back my ETH and my tokens, and we'd both go our separate ways. He has obviously not stuck to this agreement, and I've kept my mouth shut, no matter what FUD I've been getting in my DMs, and that's why I'm here now, spilling out the truth. And there is a lot of people know that I'm talking the truth because I've got screenshots. I've got nothing to hide. I've been left out of pocket by this DojoSwap hack, and I was moving about my business as I should, planning for the relaunch this Monday. But since whatever was said on yesterday's AMA by Cliff or last night's AMA or whatever time zone you want to call it in, that's why I'm here now, just talking the truth. Yeah? DojoSwap got hacked. It was not hacked by me. I never instigated the hack, and I never paid anybody to go and hack either. So that is why I'm here saying my side of the story so you guys can all hear it from the horse's mouth. I wish Shinja, Shibnobi, nothing but all the success in the world, but I'm here clearing my name and my token's name because I will not have anybody talk bad on us. I have not made any money out of this hack. If anything, I have been left worse off, and that's why I'm here.
So we did bring we have Teddy here, I think, coming, and then we had Cliff here. to give his side and whatnot, just to go on about it, because I think it's an interesting situation, and that's why I think it's important that we get people. I don't see him anymore though. He was here for a second. Let me go ahead and send him another invite, because it's going to be interesting to hear what's going on in the community, and what went down and whatnot. Because I think it's important, because there's a lot of people that support Shift in the community. It's one of the tokens that a lot of people talk about in our space. And this whole situation, people feel kind of polarized about it. So I think it's important that we get both sides of the argument here, because I think they had an AMA last night and they were putting out a video or something like that today, or I don't know exactly what's going on. But we want to hear both sides of the story, because when that hack happened, a lot of people that were in Shift were like, dude, what the hell? Because at a glance, people thought it was a rug pull, man. That's not good,
Yeah, of course not. And listen, they got hacked, and that was the end of the story, and that's how we left it out. I decided to come off DojoSwap, and that was it. But now I've got people from the Shinja community coming in saying that we got kicked off of DojoSwap because I failed my KYC. So, because Shift Token failed their KYC. That's not the case, and that's basically what I'm here to clear up, basically. And that's it. I'm not here looking to make war with anybody. And that's it. I was refunded about a week ago, and it was supposed to be left at that. And they've just this has happened now, and that's why we are where we're at.
Okay, welcome, Cliff, Teddy. Can you just what's going on? Can you guys just explain maybe your side of the situation and whatnot? Because it seems to be a lot of different opinions, and we just want to get down to the bottom. Since we have you both here, what's the situation?
Well, I don't know that I would say that there's really a situation. If we're referring to what I discussed with my community today on our AMA, all I did was tell them the truth as to what happened, which is basically, yes, there was a hack, just like we've been taking care of that. The people that were affected, we've refunded. And what I announced today was because I felt like I've been being attacked by certain people, and I didn't really appreciate it. I would have normally just let it go quietly and not said a word. And when we brought DojoSwap back up, obviously,
have they connected up yet, or
what's that?
Wait, Cliff, finish your thought.
Okay, so basically, I was just letting everybody know that when DojoSwap came back up, regardless if it would have been for the hack and Shift Token wanting to get off of DojoSwap, which is fine, we refunded them. I understand their point of view with that. But the problem was, and what I let our community know is that what we have said from the beginning was that in order for tokens to be on there, they had to be KYC'd. And unfortunately, Shift Token did not pass KYC. Certic failed them.
Yeah, I agree with that timeline. That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, and he was saying that Heavyweight was saying earlier that apparently, I guess they got the news that he failed it. Then they got the news that he didn't fail it, but now that they failed it again, there was some kind of miscommunication with that.
Yes, that is correct. Certic had come back and they unfortunately, when they had given the results for a different token that was going through the process, they have a template they use for it, and they had left Shift Token's name on it. So they made a mistake. They left their name on it when they were sending it for the new one instead of changing it because they use a template. And then they contacted us back and said, "Oh, sorry, sent that it was wrong, that it had the wrong name on it." And in the process of that, I had contacted Heavyweight and I said, "Oh, look, hey, looks like maybe you didn't feel KYC," because we had gotten an announcement from them saying that they had passed. So I contacted Heavyweight and let them know that it looked like maybe they were okay. But then unfortunately, when they contacted me back and they said that it was a template and they forgot to change the name on it, I contacted Heavyweight back and I said, "Sorry, but it still seems it's the same end result."
Got it. Okay.
And that's pretty much the messages between me and Cliff that I read to you. So that's not my issue here. It still hasn't officially been disclosed to me as to why Shift Token failed their KYC. But after speaking on the phone to Elsie, who is the CMO of Shibnobi, he told me it's because the person who wrote my contract wouldn't KYC with Certic. But just to kind of back up my argument a little bit more, once Cliff had refunded me, which I've got the Ether scan transaction from there, and this is not me talking bad on you now, Cliff, yeah, because me and you, we spoke on the phone for well over an hour on, I believe it was Monday the 1st of May or something like that. You said, well, we don't want you declaring that you've come delisted from DojoSwap, and we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that. And we said, listen, I said to you, listen, just send me back what you owe us. I don't want no compensation, and we'll leave it at that. And in our defense, that's exactly what we've done. We've not done anything along them lines. You even go to the extent of saying on our message, saying, once you refunded me, I said thanks. You go, welcome. Hopefully we can get some positive comments now. And I didn't respond to that message. So my main issue right now, Cliff, is not necessarily with you. It's just the fact that I have got moderators from your chat coming into our chat, basically saying that we got kicked off DojoSwap because we failed our KYC, which
I never said. Well, first of all,
yeah,
I never said.
your moderators have done. That's what your moderators have done.
Okay. Well, first of all, as we all know, people can't control what other people say. I have already made the comment. We just said in the end of our AMA today, we said, do not go and spread any bad FUD. Do not say anything about anybody else. This information was given out to our community just so that they had full clarity on the situation, because since we started DojoSwap, we said that everybody needs to be KYC'd. And in this case, there was a failure to the community, which we said we would always do.
Of course.
So I don't condone. I don't condone.
Why did you list me? Why did you list me before I passed my KYC? And Cliff,
I announced that today.
I don't want to argue with you, Cliff, but I've got proofs long before you've even insinuated to me that we failed our KYC. I have got messages stating after the hack, and even before the hack had happened, I requested to be listed off DojoSwap, and then I changed my mind after having a conversation with Elsie. Yeah, I have got a message saying, "Good morning, Free Patriot and Teddy Ganja. I appreciate it's not an easy time at this minute, but we are in the same boat. I have seen a statement Cliff has put out following yesterday's hack. I am sure you can both appreciate that I do not want to be listed on DojoSwap anymore. And the option to carry on trading on our current contract is a huge risk because, because when we are refund, I was pumping it all into Uniswap. This would more likely cause a dump. And many people have got tokens very cheap. Our solution right now would be to do a V2 relaunch, which within itself is going to be very expensive. We have over 750 holders. On top of that, we have a staking live on Brew Labs, which is going to require new contracts written to have our staking transferred, along with many other costs. I'm sure you don't need me to go into more details. When time allows, can you please let me know how you plan on compensating us, as it should be more than what was actually stolen? The fees on top, the airdrop in staking, Hotbit, etc. Like I said, I know it's a very difficult time. I don't expect answers in the next 10 minutes, but we have been affected the most out of all the tokens listed on DojoSwap. I await your response, Heavyweight. Now, you didn't get that message because you didn't check the chat. I saw you started buying. I forwarded you the message, called you, and you stopped buying. I'm not disputing that. Yeah? I'm not disputing that. The fact of the matter is, I requested to be delisted from DojoSwap long before you claimed that I had failed my Certic KYC. Now, I have been told by members of your community that you have categorically said that I got kicked off of DojoSwap. Yeah.
Well, let me just repeat it here. The same thing that I just announced today, because those were not my words. So if you'd like to try to put other people's words in my mouth, you can try to do that, but that's not the case. What I said, my words was that even if Shift Token had not requested a refund and to get off of there, when we relaunched DojoSwap, they would not be listed on it because they failed KYC. That was my words. So just to clear that up for everybody, that is exactly what I said.
Okay, that's fine. So you requested from me that we give you some nice comments now after you had refunded me, and everybody from the Shift community.
That was absolutely the opposite. And that's what I'm partly very upset about. Because honestly, you kept telling me I have plenty of DMs from you that basically said that you had no ill will, that you were a longtime Shinja holder, and you were in Shinja, you were a very big help, you were part of our community, but then you've turned around and I've listened to you over in countless now times in different groups and on Twitter Spaces, even just the other night, talking so badly about us that it finally enough was enough. I had enough. And if you wanted to push and you wanted to keep pushing, then I was going to come out and I was going to make sure that everybody was aware, because otherwise I would have just let it go behind the scenes and never even mentioned it. But because you decided to put it out there to everybody and let everybody know how horrible Shinja is, then I needed to make sure that everybody understood the same place you were coming from. If you would not have done that, I would not have done that. But you did.
Yeah, well, I just needed everybody else to know that
To know
I
what?
requested long before that we had failed our KYC, that I requested to be delisted from DojoSwap, because no matter what you heard me saying in Twitter Spaces or whatever it was, yeah, the words were getting back to me that whatever was happening in the background was happening. So
yeah, but this is the problem. But this is the problem, Heavyweight.
I hold no ill will towards.
But you do. But your actions show otherwise. You say that to my face. You say that right now, but your actions behind the scenes and the way that you have gone behind everybody and into all these spaces and are spreading bad information and bad news and just ill will towards us proves exactly opposite of what you were saying. And if this is the problem with this space, instead of you coming to me and you wanted to have an all-out talk about it, and instead of going and spreading rumors about things and stuff, you chose not to. You wanted to go the seedy route and try to. I'm sure what you were trying to do was try to make sure that your name was good to all the people out there by bashing us. That's not cool. That is not cool. It's never cool.
Guys, I will say, just hearing this from my perspective, I mean, Heavyweight, it's obvious the KYC was failed, the DLA agreements, we're not going to list you for B2. That's obvious. And I think we just progressed from this point on. Good luck to your project as well, just like you wish success for Shibnobi as well. And we just move on from this. It does zero positivity to the space, attacking each other, and I think that's the progress that we need to show in this space as we go.
That's absolutely right, Teddy. I mean, this is the whole problem. All we do is hurt all of the investors. Us, when all of this stuff goes on and it keeps happening because everybody feels that they want to bash each other, all it does is hurt the investors. It's not cool.
Cliff, no one's going to be in here. No one's going to be in here crying you a river. Like, none of this ever had to happen. But it's just the way that you guys wanted to conduct your business. I wish you, these will be my final words, I wish you all the best. You will not hear me talk about Shinja ever again. I have told my side of the story, yeah, and that is pretty much it. So I would appreciate, just like I will tell my community, not to talk bad on Shinja, which they have not been doing. I would appreciate the same from your side. We've gone our separate ways. You've given me my refund, and that is it.
Perfectly fine with me. That's all I wanted from the beginning. I thought we had handled it together, but I'm with you, and I've already told my community on the AMA today that to not go after your community, not say a word about it, that we don't condone the argument and the fighting. So I'm with you 100%. I hope that you hold up that and what you just said. 100%. I hope you do.
I'm glad we're able to come to an agreement like this. It really changes the space and shows the positivity that we all want.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's cool that you guys here hashed out like a couple of grown-ups. Heavyweight gave his side, Cliff gave his side, and you guys came to a conclusion here. Cool. I mean, if there's nothing else to say, then we can just move on.
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Rodney, by the way, for letting us know about this. And I'm glad we were able to contribute.
Yeah, most definitely. I wanted to get both sides of the story. You know what I mean? Looks like you guys kind of hashed out, squashed it up here. So if there's nothing left to be said, then we can just end it. You guys all good with that?
Works for me. Perfect. Thank you, Rodney.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining the space. I mean, it's recorded. You guys want to go back and listen, all that good stuff. We're going to get out of here.
Right. They hashed it out like a couple of grown-ups. What's up, babies? Let me see if I'm good.
Bye.
Okay, so the situation was, okay, so if you guys didn't know, the situation was, let me go ahead and leave this. This is all done. What's up, baby? So the situation was, apparently, when the whole hack happened, they were refunded and all that stuff. Maybe they were being accused of the ones hacking. Turns out no one really mentioned that. They didn't really talk about that. But the issue is that Heavyweight Crypto thought that they moved on. They hashed it out with a couple of grown-ups. But he felt like Cliff was slighting him, all that good stuff. I mean, it turns out that, maybe Cliff went and said some stuff because he felt like Heavyweight was spreading some shit, but it's like a negative feedback loop because people are talking shit in the Shift token Telegram about Shibnobi and vice versa, right? And and it's going to keep going like that. So now they got to talk it out right here in front of everybody. They squashed it right here. Perfect. Good. Move on. I can't keep streaming because I could keep streaming for a little bit, but I just feel like that was this stream. You know what I mean? Like that was this stream. Like that's why we streamed. Let's see who won this. I don't think it was like a real. I don't think it was a real battle. So, Xavier, yeah. So, hey, I'm gonna take off, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make a quick stream. Ozm streaming. Go ahead and migrate to Ozm's channel. All that good stuff. I'm gonna be out of here. I'll make some videos today. Yep. Yeah, that's what I think. Look if you want my opinion about SataMask and Shibnobi, I think they're not good. I don't think DojoSwap is good. I don't think it's good. I don't think either of them are good. I think that when it comes to this space, I think that there's other products that are better. So you can get mad at me all you want. They know what I think about Shinja. Dude, me and Teddy talk all the time. Teddy thinks I know that Shibnobi's not a good project. This is not me versus Shibnobi. This was Heavyweight's word versus Cliff's word. So don't get mad at me, Coon. You should have pulled out when you were up $200,000. Don't get mad at me, baby. You know what I mean? I don't want you mad at me. Cliff has a right to inform Shinja investors why a token got delisted. He was refunded. I mean, that's what he said, right? I mean, I just Shift token felt like he was wrong, which is So, I don't think DojoSwap is good. I don't think SataMask is good. That's my opinion. Is it in stone? No, but that's my shit. Because it's like we have Uniswap. How about I do what I want, Kuhn? That's been my angle. I'll do what I want. So there's that. When am I going to confront him? Like, okay, hold on, everybody, shut the room down. This is me versus you now. No, I'm not invested into Shibnobi. So what? That's not my money. You guys know how I feel about it. I've told you how I feel about it. Teddy knows how to. Teddy's my good friend. He knows how I feel about it. I think it's a waste. So, all right, guys, I got to take off. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.